What's up, guys? Here's another video for you. This is a back day I did a few days ago. Granted, I was fighting a sickness at this point. The weather was changing a lot. It was just going back and forth from really nice to really awful, and it really screwed up my sinuses and my allergies or whatever. So late night, exhausted, just knew I had to do something, and here it is. So yeah, I'm doing deadlifts. I got 225 right there on the bar. Nothing too substantial, but enough to definitely get some good strength reps in there at the same time. I wanted to keep my heart rate up a little bit more, just to cut down on the amount of time that I was going to spend in the gym, based on how I was feeling. So supersetting with these lat pullovers. Notice the form here. I've got my back arched pretty good. My whole back is flexed. This is actually probably my favorite, or one of my favorite back exercises. Especially if you get a good stretch all the way up to the top. See how I stand up as I pull down? I've noticed that that's been very effective in developing lat strength and definitely size right underneath the back of my delt there too. Been experimenting with just some low volume weighted pull-ups. I don't even know how many I got right there, not very many. Then I go into force negatives here, just kind of hop myself up and fight it. From this angle you can't tell, but trying to keep my elbows back as much as possible and just mentally thinking of keeping them as wide as possible. And that's the proper form if you want to really isolate out your lats. Once again, supersetting. Just turned around. I've got a 45-pound plate in each hand. Just doing some bent over rows. Sometimes I do them with a barbell. I like to do them this way, just because I can play with the angle of where my elbows are a little bit more. The barbell, it kind of restricts you a little bit more in that fashion, but yeah, definitely got a good sweat going from that. Came over and did some regular shrugs. Yes, I'm recording on my iPad. I don't claim to do anything super spectacular in that area, but it gets the job done, and yeah, it helps me bring these videos to you, so that's all I care about. Once again, using that 45-pound plate. Usually when I shrug, I'll go heavy every now and then, but I really just enjoy a little bit more volume with my shrugs. And alternating like this, I just think about pulling my shoulder to the back of my ear, just right behind my ear. Some people shrug really, really high, and it's not a bad thing by any means, but I don't think it's necessary on every single rep. I just focus on really flexing and just mentally connecting to the muscle I'm trying to work. Those last few reps, if you notice, I kind of leaned forward a little bit and kicked my hips back, and that just allowed me to work on the thickness of my trap as it sticks back, as opposed to just how I look, how it would look from like my ear down to my shoulder. It kind of makes it a little bit thicker on the back end. But went into a group training room and just some light band work. My lats were pretty much fried at this point because of the exercises and the weight that I had done. I went back and forth between those rows and these alternating kicks. There's just a taped agility ladder on the floor with a couple boxes. Just keeping myself moving, just trying to stay creative, trying to kick that sickness out of myself as much as possible. Here I could have, once I got my feet underneath me, jumped up and done a full burpee, but just something different. Just always trying to change it up, see what feels good, see what doesn't. Everything that you've seen thus far, I didn't just do one set. I did multiple sets. I took my time, but made sure the intensity was up every single time I was doing something. Definitely just trying to keep my mind in the zone, even when my body's really just fighting me. Here we go. I call these Supermans. Some people have different names for it. I do a couple variations, I guess you'll see here upcoming, but this is just great for hamstring, glutes, just basically the whole entire posterior chain, especially lower back. Clearly, the focus today was back, and a lot of people don't hit their lower back as much as they should. They'll kill their abs, they'll crush their abs, and work really hard. You know that when you work your abs so much and you don't work your lower back, there's so much tension on your spine, pulling it forward. You need to work the antagonist muscle, the opposite, kind of like a bicep and tricep. They are opposing muscle groups. They pull the forearm different directions. So you need to definitely focus on the lower back. Here's a good variation to the swims. This is one I actually stole from one of the Insanity programs that I've gone through before. It's the Asylum. So props to that. Beachbody puts out good product. I think some of it's kind of meh. But yeah, overall, it's a really good place to start. Definitely use it all the time. Thanks for checking it out, guys. Make sure you subscribe. ESFitness.